Yeah. We're going to use you too. Yeah. Okay. So our goal today is we've done the oh my gosh, we're doing something wrong, and like the Bailey dive, right? So and then last week we softened a little bit. We're like, okay, guys, nobody's in trouble. We're just trying to help us all get better and line up our goals with our plan, and then match it to our actual data, right? So today what we're going to do is we've shown you, right? We've shown you 2-3 times. Now we're just going to have you guys do it and walk along with us as we do it. And we're going to have Christy is going to coach.
I'm going to help.
Anthony. Yep. Anthony's going to help.
That's right. I'm helping Anthony.
Yeah.
And Christy.
Yeah. I was going to say not fair.
So,
not fair.
Christy, you're going to coach Anthony, and Anthony, you're going to start filling out, you're going to fill out your 10 block today. Okay?
Today?
Well, so basically, filled it out, on Monday, right? We filled it out with the things that as our plan, right? That was our plan to be successful, our goals, and then our route plan. So now we need to go in and we need to put in the reality of what actually happened. Right? So all of it's brand new. A lot of people didn't fill it in. I know it's a lot at first, but that's why we're going to walk through it step by step right now. Just so, because it's a lot to remember. Where do I have to go? There's 5 different places.
That's a big one right there. For me, as far as today, where do I find the information to inspect? That's key, right? Where can I go pick up the hammer? Where can I go pick up, the screwdriver, these things? I know you're going to give an analogy, so
I am going to give an analogy. I'm Tonying it today.
So the analogy I have is like a diet, right? So whether it's a diet to lose weight or a diet to gain weight, muscle weight, whatever. How often do you think you should weigh yourself on one of those things?
Once a week.
No more than once a week, right? Yeah, you want to. So the results should show up at the end of the week, right? But can you get to where the results you want to get to without breaking down the plan every single day and seeing if you're on track, right? So they have all sorts of apps, right? You enter, this is the food I ate, this is the calorie, right? So that you can every day keep track of, are you on track for you're following your plan to meet your goal. So that's what your 10 blocks, all those details are. It's your daily menu items that you're entering to see if you're actually doing what you want to do to reach your goal.
So that's why we want you to do it every day and not save it to the end of the week, because you get to Friday and you go back and fill everything in and it's already too late to make those adjustments. All right. We want you to adjust along the way. All right. So let's start. Go ahead.
Let me add to that.
Yep.
Just my perspective on this. You guys haven't heard this one in a while. I know, Fred, you haven't heard this one in a while. Matt, I don't know if you've heard this one. 10 blocks of time, and you use the word plan, right? Your 10 blocks of time is your paycheck plan for the week. So the better your paycheck plan for the week, the more likely you are to make a paycheck. The looser it is, the less likely you are to actually earn a paycheck with that plan, right? So for me, I always looked at, we didn't call it 10 blocks back when you had to walk both hills uphill in the snow to Prospect, shoeless. We would just call it a forecast, right? What are our goals, our forecast? It's the same thing. If I did not put in writing my actionable plan and goals for the week and what I wanted to get from it, I could just guarantee it was going to be a shit week in terms of opportunity for income. And I know we have a good culture here. I know we have good people. I know that we enjoy camaraderie. I also know those things don't pay your bills at the end of the day. So I want to give you that plus the best opportunity to pay your bills possible in this agency and then some. where you can start paying other people's bills. Let me tell you, the best bill you will ever pay is the one that you pay for somebody else. 100%. So that's where I want to get you. This is going to help you. This is your paycheck plan for the week. And now look at the 4-week forecast as, okay, if this is my paycheck plan for the week, then the 4-week forecast is, what does my month look like? Okay? So that's what this is designed for. It is not busy work. It is not, oh, I got to fill in a box. I want you to think that every box you're filling in has an assigned dollar value that you yet have not realized in this week. Paycheck plan for the week. Okay? All right.
So we're gonna start with your TIM block. So pull up your TIM block. And everybody should pull up their TIM block from last week, and we're just gonna have you fill it in as you go on. Just walk along with Anthony. So we'll go ahead and scroll down to the part where you enter the stuff from the week. All right. So let's start with the pink area first. Scroll up a little bit. There you go. Your actual walk-ins, your DMs met, all that stuff. So, Christy, you notice that there's, go ahead.
Yeah, so when you see actual walk-ins, DMs met, appointments set, scheduled presentations, on-the-spot presentation, closed cases, you're probably headed this direction.
Yeah, okay,
Where do we find this? Terry, where?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say that to Christy. Like, this is your, like, if you see that, that's your guys' is both, and same for you as you're doing your agents. So where do you provide that for your agents, right? Because they can't see the ribbon, right? So what we want you next to do is leave that there and then go to your ribbon. New dashboard. All right.
Are we doing the whole week or just?
We'll just do Tuesday. I know. I think if you guys do Tuesday, then you know what you should be doing there, right? So go ahead and put up the worksite activities. All right. So I want you guys doing this as we go on because I want you. This is like we talked about it before, right? So if you guys are like me, I can have people tell me what to do and I can make notes about it. But until I go in and do it, I don't really remember it. So that's our goal today is have you doing it so that muscle memory, you do it over and over again.
I have 10-1 pulled up, but it's different.
So he needs to custom date, right?
Oh,
okay.
He's got
Yeah, so custom date, right? You gotta change it to the correct date, and then it's gonna give you a choice of the date. So you're gonna pick the Tuesday, so that's where it is. Yeah, so Tuesday the 1st, but you gotta change it to Tuesday the 1st there too. So you're only looking at 1 day worth.
Oh, she wants one.
Tuesday. Well,
Okay,
you're,
cool.
yeah, okay. All right, so then it should redo that. All right, so you're at 26 walk-ins, right? So there's your ribbon for Tuesday. So you're gonna go in and, I don't know if you can split screen or however you want to do it, going back and forth.
Toggle or what have you.
Yeah, so
There you
then
go.
just start entering what you're just entering the information. So yes, it's redundant, it's there, but also here.
The only problem with him splitting the screen is that on our Zoom, you
Yeah.
can only see one of the screens.
Oh, okay.
So if you can,
Yeah, just go back and
Sorry.
forth.
Sorry, Anthony.
For this
Okay.
purpose, go back and forth, yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
Just so that they can see it whenever they're looking at the recording. I
you got
apologize.
one more down to the closed cases. All right, so that's where we find that information in the pink, all right? Then we're gonna go down to the part where the yellows that you filled in, you've got it, your route was gonna start at 8 o'clock. You were gonna be done at 2, and you were gonna do 33 walk-ins and you had 1 appointment scheduled, all right? So we can go and just based off, huh? It was a follow-up?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, appointment or follow-up, correct. So we can go into, where do we find the information about where our day started?
in your route.
Well, we're finding what our actual time was. We know what we planned to start, what time we planned to go out on the route. Does anybody know where we find the actual time where we went out on the route, where it's logged?
it'd be that first log walk.
It's in
it another place?
There's a name for it. You guys are so close, I can feel it.
Yeah. Are you
You
talking?
click on something and it brings
And
up
it brings
another
something
screen.
else up.
Right, but it was, I don't know where I was. It was
So-
in reports.
No, close. Hit the report, but
Reports.
no. Close, you're close. Go the other way.
You could go through reports though.
Yeah.
That's how I walked me through it before to get
Oh,
to
is
the
that right?
website dashboard.
Okay.
Yes.
So dashboard is
The
a
actual
choice. Go to your Epic real quick. And across the top, got
Where'd
the
it go?
cards. You dropped it down.
I don't know how to make this go away.
If you can click on it, lift it up. There it is. Okay. So, scroll. Yeah. So you want to go to you have a cross here. So you're gonna have for yours. You're gonna have to
Have him move the screen sharing bar that has the menu.
the green
to the
bar.
middle. It's in the middle of his screen.
Move it up to the top.
Yeah.
Drag it up. Yeah. Drag it someplace.
Okay.
There we go.
And then on Anthony's screen, where there is the to the far right next to field reports, there's the drop down menu, and instead of going to new dashboards, you're going to go to dashboards. Now mine, I have it small enough that it runs across the top. Okay, but if your screen's expanded, then it's going to be that little drop down. So from there, you want to scroll down and go to the number of walk-ins.
So
So let's slow down. Everybody go. So you're in the right place. So club, the number of walk-ins with the big blue, it says Adam Fisher. Just click on it. Below. Okay.
There you go.
Right. And then from there, see the two little buttons to the far left? It says run report and show details. Okay. You want to show details.
Where you gotta do the date.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We're not on the date. Presumably, if
what?
you're doing this every day, then it's going to be
It's
on your
taking
right
me
date.
to that day. It sets you on the day, right?
Run report.
All right, got it.
Run report again, and then show details. All right. So look at there. You know when you enter every single walk-in and you're putting the time with the place that you're going in? It is right there. So you just look through and find the earliest time. I see 8:17.
I think that's it.
Yeah, unless your
So-
follow-up was earlier.
No, so the first one was supposed to be at 8,
Okay.
and then
So, right. So that's the time. That's what I was going to say. That's the
So
time
I-
you get out.
I got there at 8.
Yeah.
And they were closed, so I had to go to the next one.
Okay. But even if you had walked in there
It
at
wouldn't
8,
be at 8 unless the door was locked.
right, and I wouldn't assume because what is this time here? This is the time that when you get out and you log the walk-in. So how long does it take for every walk-in? 15 minutes. So if you hadn't told me that, I would assume you went there and you just talked for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go into your 10 blocks and say that you did get there at 8 a.m. You did get out into your, so that's the second, right? It's the blue, right? It's pink, right? Do you not have all of them?
Yeah, you should be able to scroll.
Scroll.
Just scroll.
Arrow?
What?
There is no scroll.
Okay.
How about arrow down?
Click the little pencil.
Or, yeah.
Oh. I guess maybe we deleted it. So all you have to do is go here. Let me show you what you do. So if this happens to you, all you have to do is go into another one, Control C, copy it, and go down below it, Control V. All right, and it's just going to give you the whole list, okay? It's just the menu. So you want to change, well, okay, no, your time was 8. You want
That's
the 8 in the
Yeah, but this is the one that we were.
Actual
Yeah,
first walk.
You're
But this
doing
is
it.
your
You're doing
route's
it right.
first walk-in,
Keep going.
and
And
actual.
copy V.
Yeah,
Control
the-
V so you can control.
Yeah,
Okay,
this-
right,
This was the one that we were
Perfect.
struggling with.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
8 and 8. Yeah.
Okay,
You
got
went
it.
down to this.
Yep, I
And
did.
now,
Okay. Then route left, go back up. I see a 414. Unless your follow-up was later, 14 will be your last time. Yeah, and you're just gonna round to the closest number. So drop you to 415. All right. And then using your pink box above, your actual walk-in numbers is easy. I can even make it, you guys want it, we can set it up so that it automatically fills that. I just didn't want to mess with you guys 10 blocks anymore. And then appointments scheduled, you had one. Did you run that appointment? So put that in there. Did you do any more than that one that day? Okay. All right. And then scroll down. Now we're at the 4-week forecast. That didn't take us that long to fill it in, right? And it just gives us a lot of information, especially after just one day, you gave us some information. Great job, right on track, right? Doing exactly what you plan to do. And then do that over the course of a week. And Anthony does a great job. So Anthony's going to be on track, right? Where you're going to see when it doesn't line up, right? That's where that's your coaching conversations. Like, hey, I saw that this didn't work out. I do want to scroll up on yours. Let me see. I thought I saw one area of opportunity. Go on up. You got it.
Yeah. So again, the tighter the plan, the more the probability of the paycheck plan for the week actually coming to fruition, right? So
absolutely. So in your calendar section, when I was looking for okay, what are some areas of opportunity? Of course, fill out the end of day data each day. And then are you guys on your team being sure who's doing the end of day calls to the agent, okay, to give them their data? Did you do just essays or agents as well?
Well, this is our first day to have an agent, so.
Okay, there you go. So you'll be doing it with your agents, okay.
Yeah.
So, because they can't get that information unless you give it to them, right? So the urgency that you put on it and the importance that you put on it is what they're going to put on it, okay? But as we're looking at this, the other area of opportunity I saw is on your Wednesday. So what I see is you're enrolling Little Ireland Coffee at 11 a.m. And you've got the account number, and there are 7 people, and you've got it for the top and the bottom.
It was in the middle.
Yeah, it was
of
at
the day.
11 a.m.
Okay, so you're saying that, so that's why you have the,
split between the two,
okay.
the 2 10 blocks.
I see.
Yeah, before and after.
Okay, very good. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at it, I was like 7 people all day long, but when you say, no, it's 11, so we did part and part. Okay.
So now I look at an enrollment at 15 minutes per person. Is that, we all agree on 15 minutes per person?
I do 20, but.
This is average.
But we have a calculator on the side for
Yeah.
you to, that you can, right there, you can put in
Okay,
what your
I
average
like
time
that.
is.
No, because 15 is, if you exceed 15, you got to be careful. That employer is not going to be happy with you because these people are on the clock. I want you to think about that. So 15 minutes across 7 people is hour and 45 minutes. Hour and 45 minutes, right? Starts at 11. That means done by 12:45. Anthony does deserve lunch. So when I look at this, so your start time is 11. What's the end time on the enrollment, just so I understand?
He ended at 2.
Ended before 2.
Oh, okay.
But it's logged as at 2, is that right? 11 to 2. Am I not?
We don't log it anywhere other than what you see right here when we go
Yeah,
to the enrollment.
Okay, so it's not actually blocked off. Okay.
No,
If you put it in your route, did you put your enrollment in your route?
they didn't show up. So that was something.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
So
couldn't figure that out.
that one or Kaleidoscope would not show up. So I just had to
tried.
add them as an account, like
Okay.
as an extra stop.
Yeah, and that's okay, because sometimes, if you're doing a 99, you can't put it in your route either.
Yeah.
So,
So if we, I could show you the route, it actually, nope, sorry.
While you're pulling that up, so the point in that for me is when I see that, my mind automatically thinks done at 12:45. Okay, now lunch, got to eat. So let's say that's half hour, 45 minutes,
So
whatever.
I just had that like that.
So now we're at 1:30 and we resume. Then what does it look like from 1:30 to the end of the day? And if I'm Christy or I'm Anthony and I'm inspecting this, doing the math of those 7 people being an hour and 45 takes me to 12:45, we'll get 45 minutes for lunch. That takes me to 1:30. I would then go and I would look at when did the walk-ins resume? And if they resumed at 2:30, then my question would be, what happened to that hour in between? Does this make sense?
And where do we find that?
Which part of that?
Where do we find, like, if they're, when did walk-ins resume?
On that report generator.
So you're looking for that time gap.
Yeah,
when
so
you go
that's,
through the-
that helps you as long as you know what we're putting as far as an assigned time to a walk-in and an enrollee, which is the exact same, right? 15 or 20, I get that. Just do the math before you have the conversation, because what you don't want is to have the conversation and them say, well, actually, this, and they realize that you didn't take the time to actually inspect the inspection point you were getting ready to have with them. Then in the future, when you go to have further inspection with them, it's not going to be taken seriously because they're going to feel as though you're not really prepared. You're just checking a box. And really you are if you don't have the right information to actually have the inspection. Make sense? Okay.
Yep.
We got 3 more minutes and I get to 3 o'clock.
Okay, so go back to your 10 block.
It's right there.
Oh, yeah, scrolled up on your 10 block. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, because now we know how to fill out that route inspection, we know what conversations we're gonna have, right? Is the 4-week forecast. So one of the things that Deanne brought to my attention is we're not really filling out our 4-week forecasts very well. So every day when you get home and you're filling out your 10 blocks and all the goals that you met, don't forget to scroll down and fill in if you made an appointment or you booked an enrollment, put it in your 10 blocks that day. Like, let's don't wait till Friday, right? We don't know what day she's ordering. So I know that you guys are, Diana, do they put their enrollments in your 10 block 4-week, or do
They
you do
put
that
them on
for
the enrollment calendar and I put them on my 10 blocks, yes.
Okay, so but you need, even if it's on her 10 blocks, it needs to be on your 10 blocks. It's your plan, right? So it's a really good feeling, you guys. If you haven't got there yet, you will get there when you're filling out that 4-week forecast. You're like, I got something here, and I got something here, and I'm doing something here, and it's like, look, I'm busy.
It's
I'm making
validation
things-
of
yeah.
your hard work. It shows you these are the things I got coming up. And again, paycheck plan for the week, 10 blocks, forecast for your fortune. 4-week forecast. Now let's pull that one out of my butt.
So, any questions on any of this that I went over? Like, I mostly just want to see you guys do that. So that's what I would say, which I want you to do with the rest of your time.
Well, let me piggyback off
Yeah,
the
go
4 week,
ahead.
one more thing. So on the 4-week forecast, when Terry is saying you guys, she's saying you guys, but she's also saying your agents,
Yes.
really, primarily is what we're talking about here. And you get this because you've been around them. They do not get this. If you don't put it on the 4-week forecast and you double book yourself with a follow-up appointment or a presentation, which of those 2 people are you going to call and try to reschedule? Because that's the one that is not going to actually show for you. They're going to ditch you, right? So you need to know what it looks like. So when that agent is out prospecting and that person says, yeah, you can come back in 2 weeks, they're not doubling up on that day, or hell, they're in a completely different area. And so if the first commitment you make to a business owner to show that you can follow through and follow up falls flat, that's it. You've already made your impression. So 4-week forecast will help you with that. Okay?
Now we use our Google Calendar for that too, right? But yeah, your 4-week forecast is definitely something that's,
I like putting it in there because you have to pull from so many sources on a Monday to get your 10 blocks right, and it sometimes doesn't all follow.
You got it exactly right. The goal of this, I know this is a lot. Like, I know there's a lot of buttons and drop downs, and believe me, I feel it. But the goal of this is to take all of the 5 different places you have to go to be able to get it into one place so that you can have a discussion instead of having to go to all 5 Polaroids to pull the picture together, we put it on one, and now you can have the conversation based on that one picture.
So when you
Remember,
go in,
guys, like agents only do half what we show them. So if you don't even show them how to do it, we can't possibly expect them to make an improvement by themselves.
Oh,
There's no possible way.
Absolutely.
We have to show them high activity. We have to show them being on time 15 minutes early. We have to show them walk-ins before 8:30,
So
walk-ins after 4:30.
to that point, we like to think that the people we lead will follow all of your best traits. Sad truth is, they will pursue whatever the lowest of your traits are, and that becomes their standard. So the goal is that you have a high lid and no real floor, that your floor and your lid are the same, because that agent is going to play to whatever your floor is, not to your lid. Make sense?
And then by the time you realize that's what they're doing, now you have to
Too late.
undo.
Yeah.
In order for them to be successful, and it's hard, right? It's way harder. to
Especially if
undo
they
that.
can turn around and say, well, I learned it by watching you. Oh,
Yeah, what do you mean? I closed 2 cases. I got to go home early.
so,
Heard it.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heard it.
Absolutely. So that's what we're gonna do with the remaining time is basically just, you guys are gonna go ahead and fill out yours,